Okay, one more to go, and then we'll clean up all of the remaining code from inside our components so that we use the store directly for literally everything. So first of all, let's deal with the deletion of an activity. So we'll go back to the app.tsx, and this is our last function remaining from inside here. So we'll go to the activity store and let's scroll on down, and we'll add our method to delete an activity. So we'll say delete activity equals, and once again this is going to be an async method, and we just need the ID, which is a string in this case. We'll use our loading flag once again and set this to true, and then we'll add our try catch block and pass in the error, and we'll say console.log any error that we get. And in the try, again, we don't get anything back from our API, just really success or failure. So we're going to say await and agent.activities.delete, and we're passing the ID of the activity. And then we'll use the run-in action once again. And in this case, what we need to do is just say, well, effectively, we just need the first part of this method. So just to be a bit lazy, I'm just going to copy this into my clipboard, paste this in, but we don't need to pass in the activity afterwards, and all we need to do is check against the ID in this case. So this is going to remove the activity from the list, and then we just need to turn off the loading flag. So we'll set the loading equals false, and then we'll just need to add another running action, and we can say list.loading equals false, and then we can head over to our activity list. And once again, we want to observe the loading indicator from our store. So once again, we're going to need to make this function an observer. So we'll say export default observer and wrap this around the function. Oh, by the way, this is one of the easiest things to forget. And if you click on something and something doesn't happen like you expect it to happen, then you want to check to make sure that your component is observing observables. Guaranteed, you will not see the change, or you will not see a loading indicator if you forget to do this. So do double check that. And what we've got in here is we've got a function to handle the activity deletion because we were targeting individual buttons here. So we'll still do the same thing, but the delete activity is going to come from our store instead. So what we'll do is we'll also get our activities from the store now as well. So we don't need any of this in our interface here. So let's remove all of this, and we'll remove the parameters from the props here as well. Now we still need the local state so that we can set the target. So we've got access to our store inside here already. Let's just cut this and move it above the local state that we have. And then what we'll do is we'll just destructure the properties we need in here. So let's say const activity store, and with the empty curly brackets. Now we need our delete activity function, and that clears up that problem. We need our activities, and that clears up the other error. And let's see what else we've got. We've got a submitting, and we'll also get our loading flag from the store as well. So we'll say loading inside there, and we'll swap submitting for loading, and we look good. No further errors inside here, and let's start cleaning up the unused code in our components now as well. But what we should be able to do, let's see if we're good enough to test or if we've still got things we need to clean up. Of course, we're passing down, or we're not going to be passing down our activities anymore, so we've got some cleanup to do. And let's go back to our dashboard first of all. Now for our activity list, we don't need any of this, so we can remove all of this from the props we're passing down. And that means our activity dashboard also doesn't need any props at all, so we can remove the interface here as well and remove the parameters inside there. And this all looks good and significantly cleaner, and just one thing to remove as well inside here, the activity. And let's go up to our app component now. Some more things that we can remove. We don't need this function in here anymore, so this can now go. And we don't need any of this local state inside here, so this can all go now as well. And for our dashboard, we can also remove what we were passing down there. And what we should be left with is significantly cleaner components. Let's just remove the other unused imports as well. And the use state we're no longer needing inside here either. And let's go take a look. We should be good, I think. We've got our activities back. We can refresh the page. We can view an activity. We can edit an activity. We can cancel. And can we delete an activity? Let's try deleting past activity 2. And that one has gone. And one thing we didn't do actually, if we selected an activity, we didn't actually add the logic to remove it from the right hand side. So this would actually still be selected if I clicked on delete in this one. So what we should do, just to be complete, is go back to the activity store and just say, or just check to see what the ID is of the activity that we're deleting. And after it's been deleted, then we could just do this check inside here actually. So after the filter, we'll say if, and we can say if list.selected activity.id is equal to ID, then we can say this.cancel selected activity. And what we'll also need to do is just add the optional chaining parameter there as well, just in case that's undefined. And we should be able to go back and test this. So let's just go back and refresh the page again. If I select an activity and then click on delete, great, now that disappears as well. Let's double check our console before we move forward, make sure we haven't left anything behind. And there's just one warning in our activity form. And let's go double check this. And inside here, we've just got the import for the activity there. So much cleaner code by using the store, but what we'll do is we'll take a look at an improvement we can make in the store, and instead of using an array for our activities, I want to take a look at using something else that will help us out with what we're doing here.